What is going on, tubes? We're back out here in the wood shop. Just an update on the shop. It's been a while since the shop has been on this channel, and for various reasons, which I've talked about in the past, I split them off. Now I'm just gonna put everything back on one channel because it's just easier that way. I was hoping to get to a point where and get back to doing enough videos and getting enough views like back in the old days where I was making a couple bucks, and I just got too much going on now to put that kind of effort into YouTube, especially with all the projects I have planned this summer. So I'm just going to do the best I can making videos, put them all up on one channel, and it'll be what it will be. So this is the year of the great cleanup and organization in the shop. In August I will have been here 3 years, and for the most part a lot of this stuff where it ended up when I set up the shop is where it's been, and now that I've worked out here for a couple of years and I just need to change some stuff around so it's better organized. And I mean, hell, there was some stuff that wasn't even really organized. I kind of just put it in piles, and that's kind of where it was. So part of that process was there was and I do believe I had a video talking about this in the past, that there was a lumber storage rack I was building here, which I never even finished. I tore that down and I turned it into this cart here. And this cart is mostly done. I do have bigger casters I want to put in it. This is a bit of a pain to push around on this rough cement floor I have, so I do have bigger rollers to kind of help alleviate pushing it around some. I think a bigger caster, and plus the bigger casters also can handle more weight, which the weight capacity of these capacitors should be more than enough for what is on here, but I don't know, it should be better overall with the other casters I have for it. But I need to use up some of this wood to empty it out before I'm going to tip it over and put the new casters on. So I don't want to sit there and unload and reload it back up again. And this shelf was part of that old lumber storage shelf that I was making, and I had just put it up here because I thought I'd make a good shelf up above here, and which it does, but it just adds a little bit too much height there, I think, and I don't think it's necessarily just. I'll probably take that out and just take this piece of plywood that I have laying over it to make the shelf down on this set of 2x4s here, and that should be good enough for that. I've had this piece of pegboard since I was over in that big shop that I used to rent, and the reason why I never even just did that stupid little project was for like the longest time I've been wanting to insulate this and put something up on the walls here, and I just didn't want to put it up and then take it down. I'm just weird about having to do shit twice sometimes, and I don't know when I'm gonna get to insulating this. So I said, well, this has got to go up. This will help with putting up some of the oddball tools I have around here, and it's just a good place for some of the stuff to go. It's kind of a spot for stuff that I don't have a spot for already. This is not a new toolbox. This was actually out in my garage. I upgraded. I had two boxes that kind of contained all my mechanics tools, and I upgraded to a bigger toolbox in the garage to kind of get everything combined into one, and one of those toolboxes ended up out here. Then the really cheap Craftsman toolbox that I used to have sitting here, I put up on Craigslist because this was a nicer box, so I kept this one. I moved my hoses and extension cords over to here because a lot of times if I go out on a job site and work, it's just more convenient if they're right here next to the door to grab them, throw them in my truck instead of chugging all the way over to the back of the shop where they used to hang. And, or if I come out from the house and need an extension cord in the garage or something, they're right there too. And then I upgraded my speakers out here too. I just did this last night. I've had these speakers for about as long as I've lived in this house. I bought these from my buddy Zach, and I originally bought them for my home entertainment system because right now I have these two big tower systems with they both have double 12-inch subs in them. They're from like the 90s, and they sound really good. I hate to get rid of them, but in this house I just don't have a spot to put those big ass speakers. So I had bought these from him, and then I kind of forgotten about them because I needed to get like a bass unit, and I was thinking about getting like a different center channel to kind of go with the set better. And I never got to it, and I put these in a closet and I completely forgot about them until one day not too long ago I was digging through the closet looking for something else, and I found them in there. Like, oh yeah, I got these, and I still don't know what I'm doing in the living room yet. I just kind of have those two big towers in the TV all kind of crammed in a corner. So at some point I just need to build an entertainment center for that, but that's kind of low on the priorities for the house I want to get done. So I put these out here because what I originally had hooked up to here was two old speakers that were off like a boombox, like the old like 80s style boomboxes where it would separate and your speakers would kind of come off, which they were nowhere rated for like the kind of power a receiver like this puts out. But I've used it that way for years. In my old garage, that setup was about ear level to me, and being so close to other houses, I really couldn't turn up that loud anyway, so it wasn't a problem. But way up there in the air, and all the different tools I have in here now, I really need to crank it to hear it, and it just distorts those speakers so bad. I had to do something. I really like listening to music when I'm working. Then other than that, the only other thing I've changed is I've taken on my clamps and I got them hanging on this barrel, which I don't know, I wasn't really stoked on that idea, but I needed somewhere to go with them, and so this is where they're kind of living right now. They were originally hanging on this on the front of this lumber storage rack I have here. And kind of the whole premise behind tearing this down, moving this out of the way was, one, how you put the sheet material in before you had to come in from this angle and slide it in like this, and that was a pain in the ass. It was a bigger pain in the ass than I thought it was going to be. So that needed to be fixed. The lumber storage thing had to come out, where I could just come in from the garage door straight in. And plus I can move it around, put it anywhere now. And then this wall, I'm going to make it so like all my tools are basically on this wall. I need to kind of really compact the shop a little bit for some of the plans I have going on here. So basically my miter, so it's going to go about the center of the wall here with a track that runs pretty much the whole length, so I can cut, because that will give me about 8 foot on either side, so I should be able to cut pretty much anything on there then. The router table is going to go somewhere else, which I don't know where yet. This cabinet and the wood top, I don't know, sell it or something, because I need to do something different with that too, and I'll probably make a new cabinet, because I have even more of these boxes now that need to go somewhere. But basically everything is going to go on this wall, even my lathe, And then this whole big bench right here, this will probably get cut down to about a quarter of the size, and I think the only thing that will stay on it is like the bench grinder, the clamp. I think there's another thing here that will probably stay up on there. Oh, I have a press back there. That will all stay there, and this whole unit might get pushed down, maybe underneath this window here. I'm thinking maybe. And then the whole idea of that is I'm trying to get the whole shop that's not, how do I want to say this? Get the whole shop moved like this way. So like this half of the shop can be used as multiple purposes, because the table saw I want to be able to maybe pull up into this area, because then I'll have room to put the table over towards the window, or vice versa. One of the two, it doesn't really matter. And what this will allow me to do is when I'm building cabinets, I'll have a big area that I can set up for spraying, and when I'm not spraying, when I get done and I'm getting the cabinets all built, I kind of have an area for storage, and I can even set the cabinets up somewhat if I have to, for whatever reason. And then another thing this will allow me to do is this year, hopefully, well, not hopefully, it's either going to get done or it's going to go down the road, is I'm going to start getting something done in that 42 Dodge I have going on. So this will allow me to bring that truck in here and work on it when I don't have woodworking projects going on. So it will really become like a multi-purpose area then. I was originally gonna do that work on that truck over in my other garage, but as you can see, there's the garage door, there's living space up above that garage, and the ductwork for that living space runs through the garage. So if I use like any kind of solvents, any kind of paint, anything that stinks, it basically makes its way up into the bedroom, and that's just no good. So I'm trying to limit any kind of work like that I do from being done over there. So that's kind of what I've been kind of dealing with. I got a bunch of projects here that need to be sprayed. It hasn't gotten warm enough to even think about spraying it. This has been, well, it was a really bad winter for us this year. I wasn't even going to attempt to come out here and try to warm it long enough to even do any kind of finish work or whatever. And this spring has just been, we'll have a couple good days, and we go have a couple bad days, and it's Wisconsin, so it's always all over the place. But you know, now we're in the May, and we should be over it by now, I'm thinking. It's supposed to be 50 degrees out there. It doesn't really feel much like it, but we'll see. So that's what I have going on out here in the shop.